The very first thing that I believe that women want from their man is we want our man to lead. We want our men to lead. Even as an independent, can hold it down herself. I can pay the bills. I can raise the children. I can take the trips. I can make the decisions. At the end of the day, a woman can do those things, but ultimately we want our husband to lead. We want our husbands to be the initiators. We find that sexy. And ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Carmen. We want you to lead. And so even when it comes to simple things like making a dinner reservation or praying or going on a trip or handling the kids, we want the men to take the initiative to lead. Now,
all right, so yours was the first one was what?
Lead. We want our men to lead.
Number one on my list that I believe men need.
You want us to drop it like it's hot.
Men want, you're almost there, that men want is sex.
I knew it.
Men, if we can be honest and not be afraid to talk about it, men, or learn how to have the conversation with our wives. See, these are conversations we got to have without putting each other down. Because remember, different is good. So for us, we want sex. We want sex. Come on. We want sex. We want sex. Men want sex. And slash to that.
Most men.
Most men. I'm not saying 1A, 1B. Most men who I've talked to, I have not talked to all men, but most men that I have talked to tell me that we want our wives, not only do we want sex, we want a more of a 50-50.
You want us to initiate it.
Come on with it.
And
we want more. We want just a little. We're not saying all the. We want a little bit of more of. We want just a little bit more of. You come here. A little bit more of you initiating a kiss on the neck, or you initiating this, or you starting the fire.
Yeah, my number 2 was women want to feel chosen. We want to feel like you chose us, like we are constantly thought of, like we know that you could have a million women out there, but there's a piece of us that wants to feel like you want me and you want me alone. And so the reason why I said that ties into the sex part is because you're kind of saying the same thing. Like you want to feel chosen, you want to feel desired, you want to feel like, man, my wife wants me. And really women want the same thing. We want to know like, oh man, my husband is not just looking at me for sex. My husband is thinking about me when he's out running errands and he just texts me to say, I love you. I want my husband, and this is again, not just about you, just in general. My husband is thinking about me, which is why he would come home, with flowers or whatever it is that your wife likes, just to say, babe, I thought about you today. And I feel like that will tie into the woman's esteem for her husband, if that makes sense. And it kind of creates a little safety net. But women want to feel chosen. Even for the men who are courting, we know you can, you could, but there's something so beautiful and special. And it's really biblical because you got to think the same way God shows us. We want our husband to choose us before the ministry. Okay. Before the sports, before the gym that some men stay at for 18 days a week, okay? Before hanging out with the homies, kicking it, We want to feel chosen. We want to know that you desire us as your partner.
One is number two. Again, I'm gonna tell you something that men not gonna tell you.
Oh, tell it.
And they're gonna be mad at me, but it's okay. Men want acceptance. Men want to be accepted. You're not gonna hear this talk in the barbershop amongst men. You're not gonna hear this talk. He's not gonna sit down and tell you, I want to be accepted. He's not gonna talk to you like that. I'm telling you, we want to be accepted.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Okay, what I feel like a lot of women need is consistency, which is kind of like 3 and 4. Consistency, which yields to security. Because we want our men to be consistent, because that, if you really break it down, that brings on a presence of security. And women need to feel secure, period. We need to feel secure. And so if you pay the bill 1 month, we want you to, I'm just using that as an example, financial, right? So if you start out doing a thing, we want you to continue to do a thing,
right?
Because then we're secure in that. Like, women need to know that you ain't going nowhere. Our home is safe. Our children are safe. Our marriage is safe. We need to feel secure in those areas, right?
Yeah.
And the way that we feel secure in that is by you demonstrating consistent behaviors. The same way you courted me when you was trying to get me to marry you with the road, and Jay does this, so let me be clear. The same things that you did back then to say, I love you, I want to be with you. We want those same things demonstrated and growing, of course, because we want, that brings us a safety net. Like, we feel safe. We want to feel safe, and we feel safe when men are consistent. When you check in, when you're not gone for hours, and I don't hear from you. The same calls and texts that you did in the beginning is the same calls and texts that we want from you 5 years in, 10 years in, 15 years in. Just we want to grow, of course, but we want you to just be solid across the board.
That is really good. And then my third is in 2 words, but it's one. One leads to the other. And my third would be what men want from a woman is respect and honor. Respect and honor. Men just want to be always respected and honored by their wives. Just always acknowledged. It's respect to me. It's honor to me when my wife always has on her, and this may not be for you, but it is for me. You got to ask your own man. But when my wife always has on her wedding ring, it's respect and honor to me when I'm always acknowledged. Men want to be acknowledged. There's just something.